Okay, let's look at seventh chords. Seventh chords are the basis of most songs for extended position, a little more drama than the regular triad. On page 10, if you have the book Let's Enjoy Piano, Self-Expression Method, page 10 shows you all the shapes of the triads, major. Once you get the major, you get minor, augmented, diminished chords. Then I have 4 pages on the seventh chords, and that's what we'll deal with today. Page 12, 13, 14, 15. Everyone learns differently, so I wrote a chart out on page 12, how sevenths are put together, a diagram, and a chart on page 13. Oops. Here's a seventh chord diagram, all different combinations, 7 chords. There's all the chords and the components written out in the chart form. And then you have a chord tone, non-chord tone chart, which shows all the chord components in relation to the scale. And the 7 obviously is the dominant 7. It's written in the final column next to the major 7 and the octave. But you can look at the entire 7th chord through the eyes of the scale. And then it's written out also in music, major 7s, dominant 7s, minor 7s. And then I have a couple of little quizzes on page 16 and 17 to apply the knowledge, to fill in the missing notes of chords, because you have to identify the chord quickly. And best way to do it, everyone learns differently, so you have 4 different pages of 7s. And then on page 79A and 79B, I have the 3-to-1 split, which we'll work on today. The 3-to-1 split, meaning 7th chord has 4 notes. Here's C major 7. And this is a good way to practice 7 chords. You can run through this quickly every day before you sit down, before you're ready to play your song at hand. Just warm up. Major 7 is C, E, G, B. There's the major 7, the closest note from the octave. Octave, major 7, and this dominant 7. So the major 7 goes with the major chord. Here's C and major 7. And what I call 3-to-1 split, usually it's laid out 3 notes to the right hand and 1 the root in the bass. It's a nice clean sound. It frees up more fingers for melody notes. Plus you have the triad that you can flip around. C major 7 with a B melody. E minor is the plurality within the C major 7. E minor. First inversion, second inversion. And that's the major 7. That goes nicely with the major chord. Now the dominant 7 goes with the major and the minor chord. There's C 7. This is C major 7. C major 7. This is a C chord. This is the major 7 note. That usually goes with the major chord. It goes with the minor, but now and then that's a minor major 7. You don't have that much. But the C goes with the major chord goes with the major 7 note. But the 7 note, 1 step from the octave, that goes with the major chord and the minor chord. At dominant 7, C7, C7, C minor 7. So the best way to practice this in the 3-to-1 split is you could do it in closed position, which is matched closed. When you're learning your 7s, there's C major 7. Then you can drop down C7. And then you drop down the third, C minor 7. So you have the 3 7s that you have to get familiar with in one hand position. Here's F major 7, closest to the octave, major 7. Here's F7 and F minor 7. So the major 7 goes with the major chord, the dominant 7 goes with the major and the minor. It's the easiest way to look at it. Now that's closed position. which is fine. If you need to play it that way in a song, that's sufficient. But if you want to split it, when you open up from 1 octave to 2 octaves, you could put an octave down here or an octave here, and split it with the 3 to 1. 3 at the top 3 notes. In a 7 chord, there's 4 notes. Top 3 goes to the right hand. The root is in the bass. So C major 7 is that. C7, E diminished. You drop the minor into a diminished chord, flat 5. Anytime you see a flat 5, it's a flag for a diminished chord. Diminished is a flat 5. And then you drop your thumb down on the minor to get minor. And there's C minor 7, and you have an E flat major. So a minor 7, you're playing a major chord in the right hand. A major 7, you're playing a minor chord in the right hand. And a dominant 7 is dominant diminished. You can think of it that way. So that's the way to practice your 7 chords. Major 7, dominant 7, and minor 7. Plurality E minor, E diminished, E flat. And your thumb starts from the 3rd. Rather than match position, it starts from the root. It starts from the 3rd. It frees up more fingers. Now you can get the 9 up here. You can get the 9. You can get the root there. You have a lot more freedom. You can drop down on the 3rd and get a minor 9. And that leads me to the quick reference guide. If you have that at hand, this is a nice guide for lead sheet playing, but it goes through learning all your chords and how they lay out in a lead sheet depending on the melody note. So here's all the different C chords: C minor, C7 flat 9, C9, C major 9, C minor 9, C6 9. They all have a D melody. Here's the C melody note with all these 7 chord situations. 7th, when C is this dominant, when the C is the 7th of the chord, there's all different layouts. When C is the melody note. So this again, this page would probably be better to first learn the chord. This is all the options you have when C becomes a melody note. But you can use this as a reference guide and just get familiar with the chord positioning, because positioning is the whole key. And once you have the position down, 80% of the melody notes are chord tones. And that's in general popular music. There's avant-garde music that there's a lot different varieties of sounds and dissonance, but mostly popular music and middle of the road sounding melodies. 80% of the melodies will blend with the chord, will be chord notes, and then you have non-chord notes to put a little spice in. So to practice 7s, the Beatles wrote the song Something from the C. Here's a C chord, no 7, it's just a C, the first inversion. Then they added in the minors, the minor chord, which is E minor, C major 7. Then they went to the dominant 7, which is E diminished. Then they went to F, and you can do that, and then you can do it in F too. Then you're in B flat. You can take it from B flat too. And go into E flat. So you're almost going around the cycle. Not almost, you are going around the cycle. C resolves to F, then to B flat, to E flat, etc. But that's using the 3-to-1 split. That's a good way to practice 7 chords. So you have the major 7, the minor 7, the dominant 7. And you can, I call it the something exercise, because you can use the song Something to solidify the positioning of the 3 7 chords, because the 7 chords give rise to the 9, the 11, the 13. So you have to have that down cold. So if you have all your triads down, when you add a 7 chord on, you're going to have the right hand is going to be playing a triad, And so if you know your triads, you can flip your triads around and position them and just get familiar and create your own exercises to get familiar with the chords. So when you see a C major 7 chord, it's going to be in one of those positions. This, or this, which is E minor root, E minor first inversion, E minor second inversion. So you just focus on the plurality, the inversions of the plurality. Forget that there's a C in the bass, because E minor can exist by itself. It's also the top of a C major 7. It's also the top of an A minor 9. Now you have a different bass note, but still you're doing. So the 3-to-1 split is very important. It shows the triad breakdown in the right hand, the major 7, the dominant 7, and the minor 7. Okay, if you have any questions, email me at email@letsenjoypiano.com. Pick up a copy of the book. Look at the quick reference guide. It's a good thing to have around. There's nothing like it on the market. You have every chord that you need to know quickly identified by melody and by chordal components. And if you have any video suggestions, let me know. The response has been very good. I thank everyone for supporting the channel. And I just hit my 750,000 view, which was exciting. And so if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you want to take some online lessons, I do that as well. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you next time around.